Welcome to Vohra Method. My name is Arvin Vohra, and I'm the founder of Vohra Method. You probably already know that students at Vohra Method routinely, almost always get top 1% SAT scores. That's high enough SAT scores to get into the top tier Ivy League colleges like Harvard, Princeton, Yale. You probably know that many of our students become valedictorians. That means they get the highest grades in their entire school. You've probably heard that many of our students end up 1, 2, 3, or even 4 years ahead of their peers in math. What you might not know is exactly how we manage to do that. What is the secret of our success? Now, you've probably had every math teacher, every science teacher, every English teacher tell you the same thing, which is that you need to have strong fundamentals. Your foundation needs to be strong, that nothing matters as much as the foundation. Everyone's told you that. And at Vohra Method, we take that principle super seriously. Over here, we can see what it looks like if a house has a weak foundation. The top of this house looks really pretty. It has this nice blue color here. You got these nice windows, nice roof. I bet they have some really nice paintings inside. Maybe there's some good electronics, iPads, fancy computers, giant TVs, super comfortable furniture, but none of that matters. All that stuff doesn't matter because the foundation is weak. All of this is junk. But if the foundation is strong, you can build on. And that's what we're going to do at Vohra Method. We are going to build up your foundation brick by brick. And so what are the bricks of your foundation? At Vohra Method, there's something called responsive worksheets. And I want to explain to you what that means. So here's what to expect in a Vohra Method class. You're going to start out with some kind of a question. It's going to be a hard question. And honestly, that question, it doesn't matter that much. That question is like the paintings inside of a house. It's not as important as the foundation. It's not as important as the walls. It's not as important as anything. It's just there to figure out what to do. Think of it like this. That original question, that's going to be like an X-ray. So we know what to work on. We know what to help you fix. So the original question, it's just a diagnostic. It's like an X-ray to figure out where the problems are. Then we're going to do, when we find the problem, we're going to do a responsive worksheet. So suppose that you're doing a super advanced calculus problem and you make a mistake in multiplication. We know that the way to get you better at calculus is to make your multiplication better. So we're going to stop that calculus problem, that low importance original question. We're going to stop the calculus problem and we're going to go right to the multiplication problem. Multiplication is more important than calculus. The more basic a thing is, the more it matters, the more valuable it is. So we start out with this calculus question. You make a mistake in multiplication. We stop the calculus question. We don't care about that question anymore. We're going to throw that in the garbage. Who cares about it? We might come back to it. We might not. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is the responsive worksheet. That's what we're going to use to build up your ability brick by brick to make sure that you have rock solid math, reading, chemistry, physics, calculus, whatever you're here to do. We're going to make sure that your skills are rock solid. Now, what if, let's say you're doing the multiplication, let's say you start with a calculus problem, now we're on the multiplication worksheet. Now let's say while you're doing a multiplication problem, you make a mistake in addition. Well, guess what? Addition is more important than multiplication. The responsive worksheet to that responsive worksheet is even more important than the responsive worksheet. So the original question, the calculus question, that had no importance at all. The responsive worksheet, that had high importance, the multiplication worksheet, but then the addition worksheet had even higher importance. You know why? Multiplication is built on addition. Addition is more important than multiplication. Addition is like this. It's like the right over here, the core of this foundation, the most important part, that base of the foundation itself. Now imagine this. Imagine that you're doing the addition worksheet and you get stuck with that. Like you don't know your addition tables. You don't know that 6 plus 7 is 13 or whatever. So we're going to drop down from the more advanced addition worksheet, the maybe 3-digit plus 3-digit addition worksheet, and we're going to go to the responsive worksheet, and that is the most important. That's even higher importance. That matters more than the hard addition worksheet. It matters more than the multiplication worksheet. It's 100 times more important than the calculus worksheet. So what's our goal here? Where are we trying to get? We were trying to get here the whole time. We were trying to get to the responsive worksheet, but we didn't know exactly what to do, right? So the only reason we even started with that calculus question was so we could get here. This is the destination. This is the core. To go back to the picture, this is the crack right here. If we repair all this, we're going to have a nice, solid brick wall of strength. Think of the three little pigs, right? The one that built their house out of straw or stick got totally destroyed by the big bad wolf, but the pig that built his house out of brick could withstand anything, and that's what we want to do with your skills. So when you're doing a responsive worksheet, I don't even want you to, don't think that this is like, some punishment or some extra work or something that's not that important. The responsive worksheets are more important than anything. The only thing more important than a responsive worksheet is a responsive worksheet to the responsive worksheet. And of course, the only thing more important than that is the responsive to the responsive to the responsive. The deeper down we go, the more fundamental we get, the more important it's going to be, the more it's going to build your skill. And that is where you're going to get these amazingly high scores. That's where you're going to get all these academic awards. That's where you're going to get in these top tier colleges and do super well in all these tests. It's not based on who knows the most advanced formulas. That doesn't matter at all. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I don't know any advanced formulas, but my fundamentals are rock solid, which is why I've gotten so many perfect scores, maximum level scores on so many standardized tests. And you're going to be able to do the same as long as you remember this fundamental thing, that the most basic fundamental thing is the most important thing. That advanced stuff, all those fancy formulas, they don't matter. The fundamentals are the only thing that matters. And here at Vohra Method, the responsive worksheets, those are the things that matter, not the original question, only the responsive worksheets matter.